on gig work in NZ. So we are actually heading to a quest that Uber has set up. Uber has launched in Hawera, which is South Taranaki. Excuse me, got an itchy nose. Can't edit this stuff out. So they launched in Hawera on Tuesday, and it is now Thursday. Their quest is every ride is a bonus $10 on top of the fare. So I thought I'd head on down there. I don't think the market's going to be that big or anything. It is an hour's drive from New Plymouth, from home. And so what's happened is I'm in Inglewood now. I can't start the live from home because there's a big cell phone dead spot between New Plymouth and Inglewood. So I just pulled over, introduced a video. We're going to go for a drive. The quest starts actually in Stratford. If I open up the app, and Stratford's only 20 minutes away from here, but once I get to Stratford, I'm going to have to run through a car wash because the car's a complete mess. Hey, welcome. I've seen your videos. Yes, mastered in Uber Eats and DoorDash. I remember watching your videos. Welcome. So yeah, I'm going to have to go through a car wash, give the car a quick vacuum, and then I'll log on. New Zealand law, I can't actually go live while I'm doing Uber because people's faces and conversations that you guys might see in here apparently isn't very law-abiding here in New Zealand. So we're just going to go drive to Inglewood, drive to Stratford, and then I'll probably log off the live. I'll do a bit of work, and then on the way home we'll go live again, and I'll tell you how my day went. But so platinum on DoorDash, and gold on Uber Eats. I haven't done DoorDash for so long. DoorDash, I found it very, very difficult platform to try and keep up with. The delivery times or the pickup time margins were so tight. And then I started Ubering, so Uber Passenger. So it's kind of, so I haven't done food delivery probably for 6 or 7 months. I'm still registered with DoorDash. Delivery Easy, one of my previous videos told me, they emailed me and said since I haven't been with them for so long, they're just going to take me off the app, which was no drama. They said just email them back. And they'll chuck me back on there and I'll start delivering food again. But I have a food trailer and I have signed up with Deliver Easy to deliver my food. So that's probably what's going to be happening. So I'll be on this side. I'll be on not the delivery side of that app. I'll be on the supplying the food side of the app. So, hey, maybe in the future restaurants can easily ask me how it's going. But I'm going to be exclusive with Deliver Easy, and that's because they're New Zealand owned. I think they have a really big presence here in Taranaki and New Plymouth, and in that way, being loyal to New Zealand, Taranaki is a very different place than the rest of New Zealand. We are very loyal-based people. Hi, hello. So, yeah, we are a very... See, so I'm a heavy diesel mechanic by trade, and I've done that for many, many years. And I found out, going through parts, salesmen and all that, if they came in and they rubbed you up the wrong way, it took weeks and weeks and weeks to be able to get that trust back. So Taranaki is a very loyal base. And so with Deliver Easy being locally or being New Zealand owned, I think that's how they've been such a stronghold in New Plymouth. Obviously they don't have the multi-billion dollars that Uber Eats have or that DoorDash have to throw around, but they're doing very well for something that started up in a garage in Wellington, 2016, I believe. So yeah, so we're about to hit the road. I've just pulled over to say hello and introduce myself. Well, you know who I am. For those that don't, I'm an Uber passenger driver in New Zealand out of New Plymouth. So we're just heading to Hawera now for a quest that they have on because they launched. I don't know how much money they threw into advertising to say that we're there, available there now. I have no idea. I could get down there, I could sit there all day and get nothing. Or they may have really pushed and punched and really advertised heavily that I get down there and I'm busy. At the moment, looking on the driver's app, there is no surges happening. I have to go into the rider's app to be able to see how many cars are parked up, but that means I've got to use the phone because I don't have the rider's app on my tablet. Yeah, I hope that I make heaps of money today too. So it's an extra $10 on top of the fare for the first 20 rides, and it expires next week. So I thought, hey, that's an extra $200. I doubt I'd see 20 rides today. But hey, I may even get a ride from Hawera back to New Plymouth. Who knows? It's a gamble, I know. It's like me going up to Auckland. I gave Auckland a try. We better start moving, otherwise I'll have no time to actually Uber. It's like when I went up to Auckland to give the big city a go. I don't know the area. I've driven through Hawera many times. I don't know the street names. I don't know where most things are. So it's kind of like when I went to Auckland, I didn't know where I was. The only difference is there was a demand up in Auckland. We're going into a new market that's only 2 days old. Tuesday, 12 a.m. So, that's when they launched. I did speak to a driver that actually drives in New Plymouth, and he's been travelling from Hawera to New Plymouth for 6 or 7 months. And he said that he can't see it being such a big market. So he's got a different quest than me because obviously that's where his postal address is. So he said he's going to see the quest out and probably return back to New Plymouth, which is kind of sad because it's an hour's trip to get from New Plymouth to Hawera. But it starts just looking through my driver's app now. So the geometrics, which is a geo map that I've put up where the area is, so it goes from Stratford down to Hawera. I don't know if you know geographically New Zealand that well, but also from Patea to, I think it's okay. Let's have a look. Eltham Road. Shouldn't do it while I'm driving, but hey. Not quite Ocado. Anyway, comes up the west coast quite a little bit. My map's not giving me the names. Let me just pull over and get that right. So from Stratford to Hawera, and Iaha Road. There's Hawera. There's Patea. I know that. Might be Opunake. Iaha Road. Doesn't quite go that far. Kina Road. Like, good spot there. I'm not going to tell you what for though. I think it's Mania. Oh, Opunake. Sorry, there we go. So it's from Stratford down to Hawera and all the way from Patea to Opunake. So it's actually a really big geographical area. Now we'll start going. So we've got 20 minutes of rambling. So like I said, I've got a food trailer as well. And one of my other videos is talking about where to from here. Because we talk about how Uber hasn't upped their fares at all. Fuel prices spiked right up. They're starting to settle in a little bit. But we're still paying more for fuel today than what we were, 4 or 5 weeks ago. and Uber still hasn't put their prices up. Uber passenger, I know that. Uber Air. I'm not too sure about the food delivery platforms, whether they've altered their fares or not, but at the end of the day, we got to wear that cost. We got to, basically our bottom line's getting a lot thinner than what it has been. And so the hustle makes it a lot more difficult. And so I have a food trailer, like I said in my other video. It's been around, I've had it for a couple of years. We've only ever used it at a market every Saturday. And we've only ever committed to one market. Been invited to many others, but I committed to one, and that's all. So we decided to go through council process and see if we can operate it from our home. KT Pai, yes we can. So that's even better. Now I haven't started operating it from home, but I've signed up with Deliver Easy to pick up from. First, there's a little bit of confusion there. They said we can't pick up from residential addresses, which I fully understand. And I emailed them back and said, hey, it's a food trailer that we've got permission to be able to operate off our property. We can't be out on the public. We can't be outside our boundary. Are you able to pick up from food trailers? And they're like, oh yeah, sure. The safety concerns around picking up from a house is a big no-no. But since it's going to be in a food trailer basically in my driveway, they can rock up, pick up the food and go deliver it. So we've signed up for that. All that's been done. The tablet, because they supply you with a tablet, because we've been exclusive with them, the tablet's free. Obviously, if I sign up for the other delivery partners, they'll send me a bill for the tablet. But I told them it's Deliver Easy or nobody, so yeah, so they're like sweethearts, no worries. It's as easy to sign up as a partner, yes, a restaurant partner, as it is as a driver partner. A couple of emails, signed up, a few documents to sign online, and the tablet turned up. I haven't turned it on yet, so there's a few things I've got to set up on that, I think. But we're set to go live on their platform Tuesday next week. It's going to be hard to gauge how much stock do I have on hand, how much, I'd like to sell out, but then I don't want to sell out because there's people that will miss out. But then I don't want too much waste either. No, Uber Eats haven't put their prices up or DoorDash. See, that's tough, eh? Like, you got to appreciate, I can't remember if you've got a hybrid or not, but I'm in a hybrid. There's people out there in electric cars, people out there in full petrol. The guy that travels from Harweda to New Plymouth is in a diesel. And people go, oh, lucky you got a hybrid. Passengers hop in and they go, oh, I bet you're thankful you got a hybrid. And it's like, yeah, but my fuel bill's gone up too. Like, just because I'm in a hybrid, and yeah, it uses less fuel, my budgeting was around that $2.60 a litre mark. My profits were on that $2.60 a litre mark, regardless of what I was driving. And so, my fuel bill's gone up. I pay more for fuel. It would have been different if I started doing this gig work with the petrol this high, because then all my budgeting would have been around, the $3.40, well, now it's about $3.18 or something. To be fair, Uber did set up a, what did they do? They kind of passed the buck. So that as you go up through your rankings of gold, platinum, whatever they are, I don't take notice of them. I think it was at BP. I think last week they put that up nearly 10 cents across the board, so I think I was going to get 19 cents off a litre. Well, that doesn't benefit everybody because I don't use BP. I've got a Z fuel card. So, if Uber's going to try to use that as saying, oh, we're helping our drivers out. No, you're only helping out some drivers. Deliver Easy seems way different than the other apps. The app chooses your that's probably the downfall, and I know what you're saying is the week before you've got to request your hours on Deliver Easy, and then they got to get approved. And now that's kind of what got me not kicked. That's what kind of stopped them from allowing me to drive for them. Doesn't matter what way I put it, butter it up. But it wasn't a bad thing and it wasn't a good thing. They kicked me off that. But I have no animosity towards them. Because you'd put your hours through, they would approve them, and then there would be extra hours available once Monday came about for that week, ones that they needed to fill. When I started driving Uber Passenger, I thought, I won't put my hours forward. I'll wait for Monday and take up those hours that are needed, which might be a lunchtime Tuesday or a dinner time Thursday, it's wherever they need to fill more gaps. And so I would always put my requests in for those extra hours and they never got approved. And whether that's because I wasn't requesting hours the week before, I don't know. The great thing about Deliver Easy is it's all human based. Like there is no artificial intelligence involved, I believe. So you ring, you get a person. You chat in the chat, you get a person responding. I know with DoorDash, man, like I got to go through the right to work in New Zealand, the crime check thing again, and they still don't have my name right. So they've used my middle name as my surname. So I'm going to go through that. It's going to be another headache because my documents show my surname as my surname and my middle name is my middle name, but I'm registered on the app as Daryl and one of my middle names is the surname. And I battled for weeks trying to get that to change, and they said, we can't change the name, we can only keep it as what's officially on all your documents. And it's like, but all my documents are what I'm telling you what it is. So I just gave up. They ended up paying me correctly, so I go, well, we'll just save the headache and not worry about it. We'll go around as Daryl someone else. So what? You're in a Mazda-Demio, yeah. So that's still pretty good on petrol. But you're still paying more for petrol. DoorDash is a headache. I agree with everything you said about Deliver Easy. Yeah, hey, and I think DoorDash is a headache to work around because it's so big. Uber driver support for us is trash. I don't know what it's like for you in Uber Eats, but it's rubbish. It's all automated. It's hard to get it escalated to a person to reply, and by then you just give up. I had someone dent my car. I took a picture. They were absolutely drunk. They tripped on the gutter, fell into the car, dented it. I took a picture. The next morning, because it was like midnight or 2 o'clock in the morning that it happened, I didn't realise till I got up the next morning and saw the dent in my car. Pictures, everything, generic reply. Was anybody hurt involved in your accident? Can you please provide pictures? Can you do that? I provided pictures, generic response. Can you show proof quote? And it's like, oh my goodness, it's like I wasn't asking for $1 million or a brand new car. It's just like I didn't have to take it to a panel beater. I still haven't fixed it. I just got to pop the tail light out, get my hand in there and push the dent out, and I guess that's going to be an easy fix. Now Uber sees it as not warrantable to charge the rider, which, hey, okay. But it takes me time to pull my tail light out. Sorry, did I say headlight before? Tail light. Pull my tail light out, pop it out, put the tail light back in. There's, let's say, half an hour. Minimum charge for a panel beater would be an hour. And So a panel beater be $180 or something just to pop that out. Now I would have settled for like $20, because it's taking my time. But because they're so big, because Uber is so big, and because DoorDash is so big, they have to rely on these generic replies, these artificial intelligence, AI, to take over their network before an actual human gets involved. So AI has to work out whether it's important enough to have a human intervene. Where with Deliver Easy, it's just human all the way. And they're not small they're small because they're just New Zealand market, but they've got a big team. Obviously, it costs them money to have people employed. An AI program, you buy it once and it's never had a sick day off and never injured. It's forever working for you, but you lose that human connection, and that's why I won't rumble strip. That's why I won't use Uber or DoorDash to deliver my food. And that's why now we are working towards, Uber at the moment is paying all my bills. Well, I'm working for Uber to pay me to pay for all my bills. In my spare time, we're building up this food trailer. It's called Jet's Choice, by the way. You probably won't find it. Oh, yeah, I think we've got a Facebook page. I can't really remember. It's not that active anyway. But we do fry bread burgers, so we have a point of difference there. It's a smash burger on nice fresh fry bread. We do deep fried wings, and we do hot chips. Now, our ethos around it is to stay local as possible. It's very hard in Taranaki to get local produce at a reasonable price. So if we can't source it locally, we try to source it locally within New Zealand. So we sell Foxton fish. No, it's not from Taranaki, but it's from just down the road. That's a locally owned company that's been going for eons. It almost had the threat of closing until a couple of bigwigs put some pennies together and bought it and saved it from being gobbled up probably by Coca-Cola. So we support them. We buy Pure One water, which is deemed a living water, and that's from Taranaki. That's from New Plymouth. That comes out of a well in New Plymouth. The fry bread we make locally. Obviously, we can't buy locally milled flour. Big camera. Just entering Stratford now. So we buy a beef mince that's made at Ansco, which is in Waitara. Local produce, we'll try to stick local with lettuce, tomatoes, but that's very seasonal. So we buy from a small vegetable shop, locally owned vegetable shop. The chicken wings are from Levin, I believe, from a farm in Levin, and they're free range. So the ethos, creaming soda, got that. Got all their range, so cola, creaming soda, lime, raspberry, orange. I can't remember them all right now, but creaming soda is the one. Like, it's way better than that, what's that little can of creaming soda that you can buy? And apparently, you buy it at some takeaway shop, say, the Golden Circle. It is way better than that. I'm just pulling over in Stratford at the moment. Creaming soda is absolutely, it's dangerous because I lose money because I drink them. So that's the ethos around our trailer, is to keep it as local as possible. And so that really fits in using Deliver Easy because they're as local as possible. They're New Zealand run. That's a little bit of a blurb on the way from Inglewood to Stratford. I'm going to have to go in and I hope they've got a car wash here. Just bound to. I'm going to have to go and get a car wash and vacuum my car. but I don't see any surges happening in this region, which is understandable. But I'm in the region, so I'm in the whatever they call it, the GeoNet. So yeah, thanks you guys that have been on here since I started. Maybe 3.19 at Z. Oh yeah, that's what I paid today. $3.18 I paid today. I filled up this morning. So just going through messages, comments that I may have missed while driving. One delivery in Uber Eats. Oh, sorry, it's slow in my market. Yesterday I only got one delivery. Uber Eats is busier. Okay. So do you drive? You obviously drive Delivereasy as well. It's a shame because it'd be good to see Delivereasy like completely, you know, turn Uber and DoorDash on their heads. I think they're doing really, really well for a little New Zealand-owned company. Well, they're not little now, but for a little company that started in 2016 delivering food after hours, I think they're doing really, really well. 325 and 329, man, wow. So we are pretty cheap here at the moment. It did get up to, what was the last time? 380, 382. But I was only there for a little bit, I think. I see actually Z has taken away their share tank option. I don't know if you guys know anything about that, but in the app, in the Z app, you could buy fuel. It would scan a 30-kilometre radius from where you are, and it would find the cheapest fuel at its pumps. And you could buy, I think, up to 200 litres and use that when you go pay for your fuel. So you bought it. And I tried buying it when it was just, I think it was $3, just hit the $3 mark. And I was like, right, I better start buying into this share tank idea. And it wouldn't let me buy it with a fuel card, which was a downer, and so I didn't buy it. But I see now they've taken that option away, which would have been really, really handy. I could have bought 200 litres at $3, and that would have seen me through that massive spike. And it's coming back down. Delivereasy pays better. Yeah, I believe they do, actually. And because it worked well here in New Plymouth, it's a radius thing. So you got centre of town, and it's $7 or $6 or whatever it is. It's been so long, to a certain radius out of the centre CBD, and then it's like $7, $8, $9, and I think $9 was the highest. And I used to, and because it was like from the CBD, on the edge of the CBD, there was I think it might have been Milk Run out of Woolworths and Spotswood, and you had to wait forever, but they were always the next dollar up because they were already outside of that CBD $6 delivery fee, and yet it marked it. The fares were marked from that point, and so they were good. They were kind of good. You didn't have to go far to get the $8 or the $9 fare, but you had to wait, and sometimes it'd be 15-minute wait. KFC is absolutely rubbish here for food deliveries. I've been there, and this is why Delivereasy is really, really good. I got to KFC, and it's like there was so many drivers waiting, and I just went up and said, "How long?" And they said, half an hour, 20 minutes. 20 minutes, half an hour, and it's like that's an hour. And so I just messaged on the app and I said, they haven't even started the order. They said 20 minutes, half an hour away. And then the guys like at the other, dispatch, Off those orders disappeared. 2 more come up, and he messaged me. He said, "I'll get you a couple more out of this restaurant. Go do those." And then I'd done those, and then my KFC ones came back, and I would have been 50 minutes probably doing that order, because there was 3 orders that night from the same restaurant, 3 different houses. So it took me a good 50 minutes by the time I got to the restaurant, got the food, delivered it, headed back into town, and the KFC order came back in. Exactly the same one. Went back to KFC, so this was 50 minutes after I'd left, and they still hadn't even started the order. Now, contacted dispatch again, and he gave me another order, which was a really quick one. It was like a restaurant just on the other corner from KFC, and it was just down the road, basically. Done that, got back, and they had just started packing the order. And you can't, and because like the Uber drivers, they're still standing there waiting. Like, I don't even know why they don't cancel it. But I don't know if you can once you've accepted it. I don't know with Uber Eats. But they're like, one of them was like, "Can you cancel it? Or can you get rid of it?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, deliver easy. They just took it off. I've got another couple to go to." He's like, "Oh, so those big apps, maybe you can't do that." But because you're talking to a person, they understand. At times they've given me a boost in pay because of the wait time, or I've been in town because they deliver out of Bell Block, which is 15 minutes out of town maybe, and that services the Waitara area, and they've sent me across town to do deliveries over there, and they've paid me to get across town. I do a video tonight. Oh yeah, and I'll watch it when it comes up. Yeah, but anyway, that's enough rambling on. I think I'd better go get a car wash and start seeing if I can make some money in the Hawera district. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll do a live on the way back home and talk about how the day went. Might not even be worth going live. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, thanks for joining, and until next time, just drive safe, deliver safe, and just be aware of your surroundings. We all go into places that we don't know, so just be aware and be safe. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Kia ora.